Hi guys, as usual, thanks for tuning in. You're with Body Successful. So if you're watching this video, some time ago you probably decided that you want to get in shape for whatever your motivation may have been, whether you want to get leaner for aesthetic purposes or you need to get healthier. Probably the doctor told you you just need to move more, start walking more. You took it seriously. You decided to get a gym membership and you've been pretty religious at it. You practically been leasing one of these machines on the gym. But unfortunately, the scale is not moving, you have less than stellar results. Moreover, you may actually be gaining weight. So one of the reasons you might find yourself in this predicament is because you are falling for some of these mistakes that I'm going to be mentioning in my video today, as far as your cardio is concerned. Number one, you might be doing excessive amounts of steady state cardio. So low intensity steady state cardio is a type of activity that would be like going for a walk, a brisk walk, or getting on the treadmill and jogging for extended period of time, getting on an elliptical, putting on your favorite show, and being on it for however long, 30 minutes to an hour on a daily basis. Unfortunately, these types of activities, low intensity, steady state cardio, does not push your body hard enough. So the body kind of gets used to it after a while and it stops expending enough energy. And as a result, your results taper off. So you have to up your time in order to continue seeing results. So this is not only not effective, but after a while you feel like you're probably slaving away on these machines. It feels like a chore. So kind of setting yourself up for a place where you just want to quit because it's not working, it is boring, and so on. So another alternative that you could be doing instead of steady state cardio is high intensity interval training, which for the purpose of today's video, we're going to call it HIIT. In HIIT, on the other hand, it's completely the opposite of low intensity steady state cardio, where before you're just kind of doing steady heart rate, a steady pace. In high intensity interval training, you're doing the opposite. You're going through periods of time and you're pushing really hard as you can, and then going through a period of less intensity or complete rest, and then repeating that over and over. This would be things like you would be sprinting for 30 seconds on the treadmill, and then let's say walking for a minute, and repeating, or doing like 20 burpees, resting for 30 seconds, and so on. So you get the point. The bottom line is, in HIIT, your heart rate's going up and down, your intensity is going up and down, and in LISS, or low intensity steady state, you're just kind of going at a steady low interval or low intensity pace. And it is true, during LISS or low intensity, you are more likely to primarily burn fat over carbohydrates, because it is an aerobic exercise where you're needing oxygen, so you're oxidizing fat for energy primarily. And in HIIT, you're going to be, it's anaerobic, it doesn't need oxygen, so it's going to be utilizing primarily carbohydrates for energy. And it is true, intuitively, you would think that it is more beneficial to do low intensity steady state in order to burn more fat. However, you're looking at it from the wrong perspective, because if you high intensity interval training basically burns a lot more calories per unit of time. As a result, if you're doing high intensity training on a regular basis, you're going to be burning overall more calories during the exercise, as well as the metabolic effect that it has on the body. It's going to require the body to burn continuously more energy after the exercise is over a 24-hour period of time. As a result, overall, high intensity interval training is going to be giving you a bigger bang for your buck. You're going to be burning a ton more energy, a ton more calories compared to low intensity, steady state cardio. As a result, overall, your fat burning percentage is going to be higher as well. Also, there are other things to consider. When you're doing a lot of low intensity steady state cardio, the body perceives this as a stressor. In other words, it's going to increase cortisol levels, and unfortunately, cortisol has a negative effect on your weight loss goals, because it's going to increase your appetite, so it's going to make you feel hungry. And this is the reason why most people kind of feel bad and get down on themselves for why they are getting hungrier when they're doing extensive amounts of cardio. When you're doing high intensity interval training, that is going to boost your growth hormone, and growth hormone helps you with burning fat. In low intensity interval training, also that increases, low intensity steady state cardio also decreases your testosterone levels, which means that you're going to be having a harder time hanging on to your lean muscle mass, which is so very important in keeping your metabolism high, and is so calorically and costly. So of course you want to maintain as much muscle mass as possible. So bottom line is, mix up your cardio, guys. Of course, this is going to depend also on your fitness level. Initially, you're going to be doing less of HIIT and more of LISS, but ultimately you want to kind of transition into more HIIT and less LISS over a period of time. Of course, LISS has its effects and its benefits. However, from a weight loss perspective, it is not as beneficial in creating a caloric deficit. Okay, this brings me to my next mistake that most people make, and that is going to be that you're doing the same type of cardio all the time. So you love the cardio machine, for example, your treadmill, and you're going to be doing a walking or jogging all the time. Now remember, guys, the reason we as a human species have evolved and have not gone this extinct for so long is because of our ability to adapt to our environment. Our body has this amazing ability to adapt to whatever environment it's in. In other words, no matter what type of physical stimulus you're going to give it, eventually it's going to adapt to it if you keep doing it. So it'll behoove us to continue changing it up. Hence the concept of progressive overload. Whenever we think about progressing in our fitness level or our weight loss or whatever that be, you always have to think about progressively overloading, challenging the body. If you're not doing that, then your body's going to adapt and it's going to hit a plateau and you're not going to be seeing results. You're just going to be keep doing the same thing over and over without any progression. All right, now this one is pretty common, and I hear this a lot from clients that going to the gym and doing cardio without eating to burn more fat. Now this concept, I'm not sure where it started. However, it is completely debunked and wrong. Think about it. If your body doesn't have enough fuel, it's not going to be able to push hard enough in the gym to burn enough calories, right? So if you have enough surplus of nutrition in your body at this point, you can push as hard as you can burn a lot more calories. The body utilizes primarily carbohydrates and free fatty acids that are free floating in the blood to fuel your exercise. If you don't have enough of that, then you're not going to be able to push hard enough. Now, if you push long enough, the body will access glycogen in your muscles and in your liver, but it's not just going to magically just dip into your fat stores and start burning up your fat. See, stored fat in a fat cell is in the form of triglycerides, and triglycerides are not the unit of fat energy that your body can use. Triglycerides have to be broken down into fatty acids and glycogen in order to be utilized. So the body likes to use free fatty acids for energy when it dips into its fat stores, but it's not going to magically just touch your fat cells and burn them off for energy just because you didn't have breakfast. So having a fasted cardio workout has not a whole lot of benefits. In fact, next to none. You don't want to be doing that because it's going to hinder you from pushing hard enough in the gym, and that's going to be in turn stopping you from burning enough calories to create a significant enough caloric deficit for you to continue seeing weight loss results. All right, now this is interesting. I hear this sometimes from people saying that, well, they go to the gym, they run 4 or 5 miles a day or 3 miles a day, and because of that they can eat whatever they want. And so then I ask them, how's that working for you, right? I wish this was the case, but it's not. Remember, the cardinal rule of weight loss is that you have to be in a caloric deficit in order to lose weight. In other words, you can't just go to the gym and be on the treadmill for however long and then you think that you can just eat whatever you want, or moreover, just because it's healthy, you can eat as much as you want. It doesn't work that way. Calories count. You have the equation has to add up. If you're not in a caloric deficit, no matter how much you move, you're not going to be burning fat and you're not going to be seeing weight loss results. So remember that, okay? Now, this is one of my favorites, and I have a hard time convincing women primarily of this. Most women say that they stay away from weightlifting and just stick to cardio because they don't want to bulk up. And this is, again, really wrong. Now, remember, your muscle mass has to do with things like your gender, your genes, how much food you eat, and how you train. You are in complete control of how your weight lifting routine is going to affect your body. So you don't have to be afraid of bulking up. You don't have to bulk up to lift weights. That takes a lot of effort and a very specific targeted type of workout. So the bottom line is, when you're lifting weights, that will increase your lean muscle mass. Now, lean muscle mass is highly metabolically costly, so that means you're going to have to eat more to maintain those muscles. That means your maintenance calories are going to increase too. Increasing your metabolism is the goal, so it will do nothing but feed your weight loss goals. So please do not cut yourself short, because creating a caloric deficit from cardio is not as effective as creating a caloric deficit from lifting weights. Moreover, lifting weights and cardio together. So definitely incorporate a few sessions of weightlifting in your exercise routine if you want to be losing weight. It's the most effective and quickest way to go. All right, now this I hear sometimes. I stay on the machine until I reach my caloric goal. Like they say, okay, well, I burn every day about 500 calories, so I get on the bike and I just bike away until I reach 500 calories. Again, this doesn't even make sense, guys. Quality has to be over quantity. So if you stay on the bicycle for 2 hours to burn 500 calories, that won't even burn 500 calories. But let's say you're on the bike and you're doing low, medium intensity and you're lagging away for 2 hours to burn 500 calories. That is not going to have the same metabolic effect of as you, for example, sprinting on a treadmill on and off for 30 to 40 minutes. Okay, because when you're doing high intensity interval training, that is going to burn, of course, a lot more calories per unit of time. So you're going to get your 500 calories out of the way much quicker. Number one. Number two, it's going to continue burning calories after the activity is finished because you're going to cause a huge metabolic impact on the body. So just waiting for you, to reach that magic number and looking on the console and waiting to get there, it's really counter-effective. It doesn't even make sense. Plus, I hate to break it to you guys, these machines are not accurate when you are estimating your caloric output. They're just kind of doing an average of the population. So it just like makes no sense whatsoever. Quality over quantity. Push yourself as hard as you can. That is going to give you a lot more bang for your buck. So think about doing 70 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. If you don't want to be measuring that, you can think about the perceived exertion of the body. In other words, you want to be thinking of exerting yourself to 8 to 9 out of 10, 10 being the maximum exertion you can imagine, over a shorter period of time. And as a result, you're going to get a whole lot more bang for your buck. Now, the last one, I don't know who to blame it on. I think it is partly due to these exercise equipments in the gym and what they're showing on the panel. A lot of people think that they have to be in some magic fat burning zone in order to burn fat off their body. Again, this is completely the wrong way of looking at things one more time. Because yes, if you are working at about 65% of your maximum heart rate, you are more likely to burn more fat than carbohydrates for energy fuel. However, this is a low to moderate exercise level. So it's not going to burn as many calories overall than if you are pushing yourself as hard as you can for a shorter period of time. So lugging away in a magic fat burning zone is not going to be certainly as effective, because what counts is really what type of caloric deficit you can create over a 24-hour period of time. So being for an hour on a moderate to low intensity machine is going to give you a bigger caloric deficit, or let's say sprinting for 20 minutes on the cardio machine. Of course, it's going to be the high intensity interval training, because that is going to also continue burning calories post workout. So overall, because you're burning more calories, you're going to be burning more fat overall as well. So certainly forget about looking at or thinking about being in a fat burning zone. Just consider trying to give it all you got. Push as hard as you can for a period of time and rest, and continue doing that. Repeat doing that as much as you can, as much as your fitness level allows you to do so. So remember, you want to be working out smarter, not harder. You want to be thinking about quality and not quantity. So to wrap this up finally, guys, I want you to think about mixing up your cardiovascular activity, not just in terms of the type of machines you're using, but also as far as the intensity is concerned. Do not go on a fasted stomach. Do not go on a fasted state to do cardio. It has absolutely no effect. It's going to cut you short. In fact, you're not going to be able to push so hard and burn enough calories. You want to be incorporating, of course, weights in your workout routine, definitely, in order to see significant results, number one. And number two, to give you a nice shapely body instead of just giving you that skinny fat look. And last but not least, guys, calories matter. The cardinal rule of fat loss is that you have to be in a caloric deficit consistently in order to lose weight. So yes, calories do matter. You have to have your diet in check. That's actually number one on my list when it comes to weight loss. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to tune in for my future videos by subscribing to my channel and hitting the little bell notification so you know when I post new content on my channel. This is Dr. K, all the way, signing out.